Money, power, respect. What role does money play in a relationship, and who's calling the shots? Who's wearing the pants? Does the breadwinner get to decide how the money is spent, where it goes? Who's calling it?
Both people can wear pants, and both people can make those decisions. And we're going to have a discussion today to see how that lines up in your household and with your spouse / significant other.
Welcome back to the next episode of Team Whittaker. I'm Barbara Whittaker.
I'm Huey Whittaker.
We were in the car and we're trying, we're talking about things, and I said to Huey, I wonder how other couples deal with who's making the most money in the house. We're both very competitive, so like for us, it was maybe not rooted in the right place when we first got together. Like we were always, I've always been trying to make more money than Huey. I think it got like in there 1 year maybe, but like he's always made more money than me. But I love that he's a provider and everything, but I wanted to provide for myself. And I had a period of time when I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was like, I went crazy. It wasn't for me. Shout out to all the single stay-at-home moms. You guys, hands down, I couldn't do it. It wasn't for me. And that was difficult because I felt like I had to always go to him for stuff, or had to rely completely on him for everything, and that was not a comfortable place for me. But I learned and grew, and I'm okay with him taking care of me now. We're both still working and everything. He's a great provider. Right, babe?
Yeah. I think when people are competitive, when you lose sight of what the main thing is, that's where things can change. So my suggestion to those that may be thinking similarly, where it's like, man, I have to, and I was in the game too. I mean, I competed too. I mean, it was a thing for me. I didn't, I wanted to compete and win, just like anything else that I would do. And so, but I would just say, from a great person that I've worked with in the past, Mike Thomas, keep the main thing the main thing. And the main thing is for our family to be well taken care of, put us and putting ourselves in the best position to prosper and to do for others. And the main thing was many things, but ultimately it wasn't just about trying to win and make the most money. It was actually trying to maximize what we do as a couple so that we can maximize what we do outside of the household and charity and donation for our kids, our families, and our loved ones.
But let's talk about like the management of the money though. Like when we're both producing, what kind of feelings do you have? I grew up where like my mom like managed everything, the bills and all that kind of stuff in the household. My dad went to work every day. She worked too, but that was like her thing, and we kind of took on those roles here in our household too. Did you look at me sideways when I like spent certain things?
No, I mean I don't know. I always thought and want to have extra and more. And so it's very difficult when a person feels that they're doing what they need to do in terms of the amount of revenue being created, and then they don't necessarily see where it all goes. And then that's where the disconnect can start, where it's like, well, how did that happen, or where did that go? And but no, I mean, I don't think I question anything. It's just a matter of like, okay, well then it's not enough. If like you shouldn't have to ask. So I remember when peace of mind became a thing, where it's like, oh yeah, it didn't necessarily have to ask. But I would also say too though that there were times like when you were doing certain bills, I didn't pay the electric bill, for example, for things or utilities, but like I would take care of the mortgages. Like that was like my thing, or I would just kind of fit in where I needed to fit in order to take something off. And I was willing, and still am now, to really take on all of it if I need to. I mean, at the end of the day, like if you have a system that works, I don't think you really just want to blow it up and disrupt it unless it's just time to because something went awry or it's not working anymore. Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, I think at the end of the day, you make money and you spend money. And I mean, at the end of the day, you just have to be okay with both sides of the spectrum.
So for people that are in relationships where, there's one person that's providing, the other person staying at home, taking care of the house, and a homemaker or whatever their situation is, but one clearly makes more than the other. Let's take the situation where a female is making more than the male in that situation. What is the suggestion in making sure they're on the same page with like moving the same way?
The main thing, like what is the focus and what is the desired outcome? And as long as they're aligned, that typically they can move and grow in the same direction. But egos come into play.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, egos and people like compliments. I mean, even if in that situation, if it's a female, I mean, and ego comes into play because she feels maybe she can have a feeling that her partner is less than because maybe he's either not providing or he's not willing to or he's not trying enough or hard enough.
Or that's just the dynamic of the relationship and household.
Well, of course, but I'm saying she can have those feelings if she felt one of those things. If she was content with everything and that was how their structure was, I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem, right? Because they're rolling in the same direction. Yeah. But if she felt that the effort and her energy wasn't there on the partner side and he could level up, there may be some resentment that causes some further issues. Yeah. And on the opposite side, I mean, a lot of men we're men, it's just different. And we just want to be kings of our castle. And, that comes with, some sort of a level of like confidence and, expectation of what you're bringing to the table. And, sometimes when that doesn't happen, it does kind of chin check us.
Yeah.
But whether it's right or wrong or indifferent, it's reality, and so we have to
let's
overcome
that. Let's talk about us. Did you feel like I struggled with submitting to you in the beginning, or like challenged your position as the head of the household?
I mean, no, but there wasn't a challenge, so that's why. So it wasn't a challenge. It was just trying to figure out what our moves were. But again, we were not structured. We did not have a model, like an avatar, like we weren't able to model ourselves after anyone really, fully with what we and where we wanted to go. Now we saw, marriage, we saw our family and my parents and like what they did. So they gave us pieces of it, but the full picture of what we were expecting to do, what we hoped to do, we didn't really have. And so beyond our parents, we didn't really have that kind of, mentor type, relationship or really anybody outside of us that was doing what we wanted to do. So it was almost like we had to create it. So I don't think there was any challenge or any issue in the beginning. I think as time goes on, right, as you start to build yourself up, as you become more confident in the things that you were accomplishing and the success you were having, that does affect a man. Like it affects a person. I think on both sides, right? Because I don't know what whatever you have, but like it's the same thing on my side, right? Like that does something, and so you almost have to be very confident and secure in yourself too, in order to allow that partner to excel. Yeah. Because there's gonna, tension comes with that. People come with that, and there were definitely times where I was like, or whatever, and I just have like a thought, but you kind of have to be pretty strong in what you feel ultimately is going to happen, and in yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think your role, honestly, in our dynamic was ever for you to be submissive. I always saw you as very strong and confident, like you said. I think you had a vision of what you wanted, and I could see that you had that's what was attractive to me, is that you had goals and you had dreams and you were ambitious and you had a drive and you were consistent and disciplined. So for me, like being in a household with somebody that has all of those attributes, I'm trying to come along, like take me along with you, because I need to learn some of those attributes. So that was never really
maybe not that side, but like more on the compassion and like the willingness to change or learn or grow and adapt, right? Because some
I definitely think in the beginning we had different financial understandings, right? Like our family household dynamics were very similar from like our parents and everything. But I do think that we struggled in the beginning with trying to figure out like how do we get on a good path without staying stuck somewhere. Like we had a lot of bad habits that we had to really like
package.
Yeah. exactly. We had to fix it. So it took us a little bit of time, but it doesn't mean that neither one of us were willing. We were always willing, I think, to figure it out and put in the work and try to, see what do we need to do, how do we need to adjust, how do we need to change, and that's what really made the difference, I think, long term. So when you're in a relationship with somebody and it's obviously there's an ego situation there, the person's making the money, they want to control things, they feel like they're the decision maker, and what contribution do you have to tell me if you're not making money? Well, I mean, what do you do with that?
Well, I think that's more of a question for you, since I'm probably the one with the ego or whatever, but
I didn't say that.
I would just say that, like, if I was, dealing with that, I just think communication is necessary in order to start the fix. You need to tell the person what their response is to things and how that makes that individual feel. What it does to you, how it makes you feel. And really that gives the opportunity for it to be fixed. But like without that and just responding, I should say reacting to how the feeling is making, or coming out and showing itself, is really just going to make things worse, I think, at the end of the day, and always going to result in conflict. So that would be my response to that. I mean, what would be your response to that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think you have to go back to the root and really, I mean, a lot of the issues that pop up or show themselves in relationships are really from where they started. Like, you weren't equally yoked in the first place, So I think, you have a little, like we always talk about, ultimate responsibility or ultimate accountability, right? Where you have to take a little bit of responsibility in the fact that you decided to be with this person, first of all. Like, I think that's front and center, is like you knew who, or you should have known who that person was with respect to money before you got into a relationship with them. When you, I feel like, start from that perspective, it really changes how you manage what happens after that.
Sure.
And then it allows you to maybe give some grace to them because you gave them grace before. What's different? Like, why do you not want to give grace all of a sudden? So that's the first thing. The second thing is, obviously communication and having a conversation, but I think that you should really process how, you communicate to that person. We talk about that a lot. Like, the words that you say matter at that point. And once they're out your mouth, they're gone. You can't take them back. So, really thinking through and really processing what you're going to say to try and have an open conversation with them about this issue is big, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I would also say, though, that for the people that overlook something and, didn't really take into account the fullness of what they saw, the red flags that they
avoided
saw.
the red flags,
And now they're here.
Right.
And they're with this person and they try to make it work. They bypassed everything you just said. So at this point, you gotta, I think, two things. The communication is one of them, and the second thing is prayer. But you have to operate the way you expect the other person to as well. So, one of the things I heard in the past from a pastor is like, if your spouse is not acting right, you can't just not act right.
Right.
So you have to treat them still the same like you would expect them to treat you or you want in return. And that's really the best way to get the result.
Correct.
Is to give what you expect in return. And so that would be like a piece of advice for the people that kind of just overlook what they knew was going to be an issue.
Yeah.
Because there's not really much you can backtrack to fix.
Correct.
And you're going to have to get some grace, or you're going to have to give some grace in order to kind of move through that season. Hopefully it's a season.
Yeah. All right, wrapping it up. All right, we hope we had some good tidbits in there. And until next time, start strong, grow bold, be fruitful.